Very good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing great. I am also good. Today, we are going to discuss three very important topics of Unit 2nd. So, first topic that we are going to discuss in this class is features of good research design. In addition to that, we are going to discuss the types of research as well as research process. So, students, these topics are very important because they help us to understand how research is planned, which type of research should be selected, and what steps researchers follow while conducting research. So these concepts are very useful for examination purpose as well as for interview and for future research work. So today we will understand everything very easy way and in a practical way with real life examples. So before understanding these topics, first of all let's understand why we need to study them. Suppose a company want to launch a new cosmetic product in the market. So before launching the product, the company want to know, will customers like the product? What price is stable? And which advertisement will attract customers? Maybe word of mouth, maybe social media, maybe print media. So it depends on the company how they advertise their product to aware customers about the feature of the product. Which age group will buy it more? They identify this thing first of all. Basically, if they want to launch any product in the market, so it's the responsibility of the company, it's the responsibility of the managers to identify which age group that they target for the product. Maybe for toddlers they launching the product, or maybe the younger one, maybe the male or maybe the female. So first of all they have to identify the category of the peoples, which category of people they target to to sell the product. Now student, can the company simply guess the answers without doing the research in a particular way? So the answer is no. The company must plan the research properly. They select the correct type of research. Here they decide, maybe they used qualitative research while doing the research, or they maybe use the different method, quantitative method. If they have the large sample size, they go for the quantitative research method. If they have a small group or small sample size and they want to know the opinion of the persons, they want to know the behavior of the persons, then they use the qualitative research type and follow the proper research steps. They can't come to the conclusions without following the proper steps. First of all they have to identify the research problem. After that they have to collect the data. Okay, so basically while doing the research they need to follow some steps. This planning is called the research design, and the method selected for the study is called the type of research. Which method they select for their study, maybe qualitative method or they may be quantitative method used for their study. And the systematic steps followed during the study are called the research process. So these topics help the researchers to conduct research properly and scientifically. Now let's start with the first topic, meaning of research design. So basically research design means the overall plan or blueprint of research. It explains what research will be conducted, how data will be collected, how analysis will be done, and how conclusion will be reached. So students, research design acts like a roadmap, act like a blueprint for any study. Just as we need a proper plan before building a house, researchers also need a proper plan before conducting research. Without proper plan, or without proper blueprint, or you can say without proper roadmap, research becomes confusing and time gets wasted. In addition to that, result may become inaccurate, wrong. So research design gives the direction and structure to research work. Now let's understand the features of research design. So first feature, we have clear objectives. One important feature of a good research design is clear objectives. If you want to do anything in your life, so first of all, it's the responsibility of yours to decide the objective. If you set the objective, then you get a result accurate. For example, you want to build a house, or you want to build a building. So first of all, you have to plan a blueprint, and that blueprint guide you for building the house. In the similar way, in a research, before doing any research, you have to make a blueprint first. Student, before starting the research, researchers must clearly know what they want to study. Objective gives the direction to research. For example, if if student want to crack the NET JRF exam, so before cracking the exam, they have to set the objective, like what syllabus they need to cover in 6 months, and what type of sources they used for the study, maybe online method, maybe offline method, or which kind of material they used, which book they preferred for studying the NET JRF exam, and how much time that they need to invest on regular basis to crack the NET JRF exam. So basically, objectives are very important for achieving the goals. So in the research, objective are very important, because objective gives the direction to the research. Let's take another example, studying the customer satisfaction regarding the cosmetic products. Here the objective is very clear. Objective is to understand the customer satisfaction. Here we want to know the satisfaction level of the customer, like if any company launch any kind of product in the market, then they want to know about the satisfaction level of the customers, whether the customer like their product or not. If they like their product in the market, then they produce more product. If they don't like, then they want to know the reason behind that. What is the reason? Maybe the customer find that the product price is very high, maybe the quality issue is there, maybe another issue is there, customer are not aware about the product. So here basically, first of all, they set the objective, and the objective is to understand the customer satisfaction level of the product. If the objectives are not clear, then researchers may collect unnecessary data. Research becomes confusing and result may become meaningless. So a good research design always be clear objectives. Next we have second feature, that is systematic planning and accuracy. So students, another important feature of good research design is systematic planning, and the research should not be random. Everything should be planned properly. How data will be collected, which means what method that you are using for collecting the data. It may be qualitative, it may be quantitative method. You may also use the questionnaire or survey method to collect the data, or you can also use the interview method, but it is totally depend on your research, which type of research method that you are using for your research, and who will participate. That means which category of people that you are targeting for research. Population of population in the research, and which method will be used, and how analysis will be done, which statistical tool you are used for your research. So with the proper planning, you saves time, money and effort. So now let us understand the accuracy and reliability. A good research design helps the researchers to collect accurate and reliable information. For example, using proper questionnaires and trusted data sources. If data is inaccurate or incorrect, then research result will also become incorrect. So therefore accuracy and reliability are very very important for research. Next feature we have flexibility, economy and objectivity. So students, a good research design should also be flexible. Sometimes researchers may need to make changes during research. For example, adding new questions after observing customer behavior. Flexibility helps the researchers to improve research quality. Now let us understand the economy. A good research design should save time, cost and effort. For example, using online survey instead of expensive field surveys. Now students, another important feature is objectivity. Research should be free from personal bias, and researchers should focus on facts, logic and evidence. For example, giving equal importance to all customer opinions. Next topic we have types of research. So student, now let us move to our second topic, that is type of research. Different research problems requires the different research method. So that's why research is divided into different types. Types of research means different methods used for conducting research according to the purpose and nature of the study. Researchers choose the type depending on objectives, nature of problems and availability of data. Now let us understand the basic research and applied research. So basically, basic research is conducted to increase knowledge and understanding. It is theoretical in nature. For example, study of human behavior or climate change. This research increases the knowledge for future understanding. Next we have applied research. So basically, applied research is conducted to solve the practical problems. For example, a cosmetic company researching how to improve product quality. This research gives the direct solution to real life problems. So now let us understand the difference between the basic research and applied research. So in case of basic research, this is basically here they basically focus on knowledge, but in case of applied research, this is basically focus on solving problems. If we talk about the basic research, here they basically focus on theoretical, and applied research is practical. Now, let us understand the qualitative and quantitative research. So, student, now let us understand the quantitative and qualitative research. So, qualitative research is based on opinions, feelings, and experiences. For example, customer interviews. It helps the researchers to understand why people think or behave in a certain way. Next type we have quantitative research. So quantitative research is based on numbers, percentage and statistics. For example, survey showing the customer percentage. Researchers use the graphs, charts and statistical tool in quantitative research. So let's understand the difference between the qualitative research and quantitative research. So basically, qualitative research is based on opinions, and here they basically uses the interview method. In case of qualitative research, if we talk about the quantitative research, it is based on numbers, it is based on percentage, and in case of quantitative research uses the surveys and statistics. Now let us understand the exploratory and descriptive research. So students, now let us discuss the exploratory and descriptive research. So exploratory research explores the new problems or new situations. It is used when little information is available. For example, studying a newly emerging market trend. And next we have descriptive research. So basically, descriptive research describes the situations clearly. For example, customer satisfaction study. This research explains what exists in a situation. Now let us understand the meaning of research process. Students, now let us move to our third topic, that is research process. Research process means the systematic sequence of steps followed while doing the research or while conducting the research. Research cannot be done randomly. Researchers follow the proper steps in a sequence while doing the research, and research process helps the researchers to stay organized and avoid confusions and save time and get accurate results. Now let's understand the important steps in research process. So first step we have identification of problem, and second step we have setting objectives, and third step we have collection of data. In addition to that, we have analysis of data and drawing conclusions and giving suggestions. So now let us understand all these steps one by one. So let's start with the first step, that is identification of problem. The first step is identifying the research problem. For example, a company notices decreasing sales. That is the example of identification of the problem. Next we have setting objectives. Setting objectives means the researchers decide the goals of the study. Researchers decide the objective of the study. For example, to identify the reasons for low sales. Third step we have collection of data. This means the researchers collect the information from different sources. For example, customer surveys and interviews. They use these methods to collect the data. Maybe survey method, maybe questionnaire method, or maybe the interview method. Next step we have analysis of data, which means the collected information is analyzed carefully. So after collecting the data, you have to analyze that data with the help of statistical tools. If the data is distributed, then you go for the parametric test. If data is non-distributed, then you go for the non-parametric test. For example, studying customer responses. This is the example of analysis of data. Now, next step we have drawing conclusions. Researchers interpret finding and reach to the conclusions after analyzing the data. For example, customer dislike product pricing. So this is the conclusion based on data. Next step we have giving suggestions. Researchers provide recommendation for improvement. For example, improve product quality or reduce price. So this is the example of giving suggestions. Now let us understand the complete research process with a simple real life example. Suppose a restaurant notices the fewer customers. The owner identifies the problem and he collects the customer feedback and also analyze the complaints of the customer and improves food quality and services. In addition to that, takes better decisions in favor of customers. This complete activity is called the research process. So students, the research process helps the businesses to solve the problems systematically. Now come to the conclusion part. So students, today we understood features of good research design. In addition to that, types of research. Moreover, we studied a research process, importance of these concepts, and real life examples related to research. We learned that good research design improves the research quality. In addition to that, different problems requires the different type of research, and research follows the proper systematic steps. These concepts are the foundation of research methodology. So thank you everyone for attending today's class. I hope now you clearly understand the research design, type of research and research process in a very easy and practical way. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. If you like this video, then do like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Bye bye. Take care. Keep learning, keep growing and keep signing.